We're always bemoaning the fact that you can't get a small, affordable Flybridge anymore. Well, guess what? I've just found one, and it's a really interesting little boat. This is the Parker Monaco 110 Fly, and I'm going to show you all around it. My name's Hugo Andreae, you're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go and tour it. Parker is a Polish brand, and they're best known for producing a range of very attractive and quite high quality sports boats, just like this little 100 Sorrento here. But they also produce this one larger boat, the Parker Monaco. Now, previously I've only ever seen it as a coupe, but here is a bona fide Flybridge model. It's 38 foot long, and you'll be amazed how much space there is on board. So a couple of quick stats. First of all, you can see that it is an outboard powered boat. This has the top spec 350 horsepower V10s. I think as standard it tends to be go out with 300 horsepower V8s because it's plenty of power. That will easily give you well over 30 knots. I think with these it's going to be more like 40 knots. Now prices start at 336,000 euros ex VAT. This particular boat is absolutely loaded to the gills. It comes out at just over 566,000. But when I say loaded to the gills, I mean it's properly fully equipped with generators, inverters, Seakeeper gyros, loads of extra kit. But you'll be amazed what there is on board, certainly in terms of space and adaptability. It's a really clever little boat. Now, the standard setup is to have an extended Sunpad over the top of these engines. This one has just got a sliding bench, but it's a really clever idea. You can just see that it's on rails down here. So this whole bench slides forwards and backwards and gives you much more space in the cockpit here. Now again, really versatile cockpit. The table obviously plugs in and out. It's rather a smart little one. It's got teak top, opens up, obviously swivels round so that you can use it for a dining table. You've also got built-in cup holders around it. This whole thing can be removed and it does stow away under the floor. You'll notice how much of this floor is actually openable hatches. You can see they've got little ring pulls on them all. The whole thing opens up. This lifts up, and of course, because there's no engine under there, there is a huge storage space under there, as well as access to the batteries, inverters, generator, Seakeeper, etc. Another really clever feature is the stairs up to the Flybridge. You'll notice it's a stainless steel sort of pole, and it is more of a ladder. They are quite vertical steps. We'll go up them in a minute, but this whole thing can actually swing round. It takes a bit of a push, but by swinging out of the way like that, again, it frees up this whole cockpit area, just makes it feel more spacious, and of course it gives you access to lots of features like this little fridge. Really handy to be able to have that from the cockpit rather than having to go in, but look how nicely it opens up into the saloon. But before we go and check that out, let's just do a quick tour of the decks because there's some nice features going on here. You've got side decks on both sides, a couple of steps up. Now it is relatively narrow, but you can work your way along this port deck. And check this out, really nice Sunpad area. Got proper pop-up headrest so you can lie back and read a book. You've got a lovely sun canopy. This all packs away and it all stows very neatly inside the saloon. These little carbon fibre poles go behind one of the cushions, and the canopy itself tucks into a locker in the floor. Got access to the anchor locker down here. Rather nice little seat on the bow just above the anchor itself. I won't lift up those hatches, but obviously gives access to the chain and so on. Some good quality stainless steel work and nice little touches like this grab rail here. You just notice that it's oval shaped rather than round or square. It just adds a little bit of class to the whole thing. Got a couple of cup holders built in. Nice quality stainless steel on this side, and you'll notice that the starboard deck is actually usefully wider, so it's a little bit of a creep along the port deck, but that whole wheelhouse being a little bit offset to port means you've got much more space down this starboard side deck. Now as we come down here, I'll just swing round, in fact, because it shows you rather better, but you'll notice that there are a couple of lockers in the decks here, and that is because they are tailor-made to take your fenders. You can see you've got 3 big fenders in there, Also gives you access to the fuel tanks, and you'll notice there are two different ones here. And I believe that is because one is the petrol for the outboards. Oh no, that's not. It looks like they are both petrol for the outboards, but there is another small separate diesel tank for the generator itself. But lovely, there's a second one forward there. I won't go into that one, it's the same idea, but everywhere you look, there's just useful little touches. Here, for example, there's a gate. So if you want to board from the side pontoon, you can also do that. We'll swing round the steps here. Actually, why don't I put those steps back into position, because we can go up and have a quick look at the Flybridge. So I mentioned earlier, they are quite steep, these steps, and you'll notice that they're offset. So you have to go up in the correct sequence, effectively, starting with your left foot. And they are quite steep. There's a grab hold on the way up to help you up. But when you get here, it's a really decent little Flybridge. Got a lovely forward-facing seat over on the port side, so you can keep the skipper company. Everything you need at the helm. You've got a decent size Simrad MFD, throttles for those twin Mercury outboards. This one is fitted with both bow and stern thrusters, you'll notice. You can also have a joystick if you'd rather. Swing round, and you'll be surprised at the size of this dinette here. How nice is that? That's a really good size dinette. You can comfortably seat, I would say, 6, maybe even 8 around that dinette. Decent sized table. Looks like they're demountable legs. There's even a little fridge up here. Twist that, open it up, and you see you've got a tray for a few beers in there. Don't forget, this is only a 38-foot boat. Also, pretty decent quality. Got really nice, not quite diamond, sort of hexagonal seating effect on there. Just looks really smart, much more than you'd imagine for what is clearly a relatively budget brand. It looks really, really classy. Nice little radar arch at the back. Got the proper radar on there. You'll notice we've got a sun canopy overhead. That all tucks away neatly when you don't need it. I'm really very impressed by this. I'll show you just on the journey down that it is relatively steep. Just takes a little bit of caution. May not be ideal for the old or very young, but you know what? It all works. I'm going to swing that out the way again so you can get a proper look at this saloon. I love the fact that this window here is a proper bifold window over the galley area. So that will all close up, but then it pushes completely out of the way when you want it open. Exactly the same with the door on this side. Just creates a lovely open flow into the saloon. Again, very nice, bright, spacious saloon and galley area. This is the galley over on the starboard side. Looks like pretty decent quality woodwork. It's a sort of light oak finished. I think it's only a veneer, but looks pretty good. We've got a twin induction hob. We've got a sink under here. Pop-up tap. Whoop. There's the sink itself. Pop that back. We've got another fridge on this side. Little Bosch oven under here. Plenty of storage space. It's all just very thoughtfully done. Same over on this side. We've got, this is for all the sort of cutlery and so on. So there's just plenty of clever little storage spaces. This is the access panel for the electrics. Perfect position right by the door so you can get straight to it. Very good sized dinette over on the port side. You'll notice that that is on high-low legs, and that's because that whole thing can sink and become an occasional extra third double berth if you need it. Really good storage under the floor here. I'll lift those up just so you can see, but we've got a fully lined sort of tray underneath there. You can lift out that tray too and get access to the bilges. Everything is nice and accessible. Another thing I really like about this is the way it's so bright in here, and that's because there is a large skylight overhead. It's not an opening sunroof, but very unusual on a Flybridge boat to have a skylight here at all. Normally, it's all just solid GRP, or it is in fact part of the Flybridge itself, so you can't have an opening sunroof. But there's nowhere for an opening sunroof to go, so it's just a skylight. But it really opens it up. There is a shade, of course, over the top if it gets too sunny. And then there's an opening sort of window. It's almost a door there. You could certainly get out of there if you needed to in a hurry, but lovely to be able to have that fresh air coming in through that side door, and of course communicating with crew, etc. This is the indoor helm position. Nothing particularly fancy about it, but looks like it works very well. I like the fact that the throttles are on a bit of an extension, so they come a bit nearer to you when you're sitting in the seat. In fact, I'll just put myself on the seat. You'll notice that we've got a bolster cushion down here, so you can either use it as a support, or when you're sitting there, you will of course need to put those sunbeds down to get a good view, but a nice single section screen over there. Reasonably thick mullions, but actually you get a pretty good view through the quarter lights. And really big side windows. If I spin the camera around slowly, you can see you've got 360-degree visibility all around. Let's carry on with the tour then. We'll head downstairs. So if we drop down, we'll go forward into the master cabin first. And look at this for a small Flybridge boat. What a really cool bow cabin this is. 2 big hull windows on either side, again making it feel nice and light. That beam carries a decent way forward, so you've got plenty of space either side of the bed. That is a really generous sized bed. And although it's got the corners sort of knocked off it, in fact, the width stays the same pretty much all the way down. So plenty of space for 2 people to sleep in there. Got speakers up above, artificial lighting, plenty of storage. Got hanging lockers on either side. You'll notice that in the foot of the bed, we've got 4 drawers down there. Got a decent sized TV on the bulkhead over on this side. And there is in fact ensuite access to the bathroom. Now, slightly strangely, the access goes into the shower compartment, but I'll show you why that's the case in just a second. But just take note that you have got ensuite access through there. And then if I close it and come back to the bathroom, you'll see it's got Jack and Jill doors, so you can also access it from the bottom of the staircase here. Means day guests can go straight in and use the bathroom. Really like the fact that you have got a separate loo and shower facility. You can see you've got the sink over on this side, and this is looking back at that same shower cubicle, and in fact you can see the access door that makes it ensuite to that forward cabin. But really nice to have at least a separate shower compartment, so you don't end up with a wet room that you get your feet wet every time you go in just to use the loo. We've got a second fully private cabin over on this side. Love the fact that there's a little bench here, so when you walk in, you've still got carpet on the floor, you've got full headroom, you've got a hanging locker, and then the bed itself is under the saloon floor, but again, a decent size. That looks like it's at least 5 foot across. Okay, there is some moulding intrusion overhead, but you've got really good sitting headroom on this side, a little bit more compromised on this side, but if you sleep with your head at this end of the bed, it feels that much less claustrophobic because you've got all this space in front of you here. You've also got a little window there with an opening port so you can get some fresh air in there. Obviously it's not going to be a big cabin, it's only a 38-foot boat and a Flybridge boat at that, but you know what? That looks surprisingly decent. Okay, more little storage things under here. I should have pointed out that that is a bolster cushion, so you can also use it as a sort of backrest if you just want to perch there. I'm super impressed by this. Now, a couple of details about it. It has 1,000-litre tanks, I think that's correct, which should give a range of about 200 nautical miles. I think I've mentioned it's fairly quick as well. We've talked about the pricing, but I love the fact that it packs all this into a relatively affordable package, plenty of sleeping space, plenty of daytime space, and a little Flybridge. So there you have it, that is the Parker Monaco 110 Fly, a whole heap of boat for relatively affordable money. I hope you've enjoyed seeing something. It's so rare to see a small, competent Flybridge at this kind of length. So do let me know what you make of it in the comments, and as always, thank you very much for watching.